Greetings, Banker, and thank you so much for agreeing to participate in the Teach Children to Save Day program. The lesson that we're going to use for third graders is called Isabel's Car Wash by Sheila Bear. What you should find in your packet is a lesson plan and a number of visuals that are both on a PowerPoint presentation that I have copied in print in your packet, and also that I will email to you. But in addition, this is what you should find in your packet. You'll find a visual of a bicycle with a $400 price tag. You'll find that same bike on the savings goal sheet that the students will do together as a class. Then you'll find this worksheet of Isabel's earnings throughout the story that the students will fill in as you go along. And there's also an answer on that. And then there are 6 pages of items, goods and services that the students can choose to buy that they're going to have to decide on a savings goal for themselves. Then there's a savings goal worksheet that they will work on at the end to think of their own savings goal and how they will meet that goal. And then there are a series of vocabulary words that you can cut on the dotted line to review the vocabulary that they'll be using in the story. And then finally, there is a Meeting My Goals worksheet and another savings goal sheet. These two are to be used by the teacher as follow-up activities on a future day. When you get to the classroom, you would say, good afternoon or good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Jones, and I work for the ABC Bank. I really like my job at the bank. It's got a wonderful chance to meet people and help people and help them make decisions about saving. And, you know, sometimes by having money in a savings account, it helps you get the things you want and to make your life better. So that's what I liked about my job, is it's helping people and helping them make good decisions. And I'm kind of stuck about a decision right now because I have been looking at a bicycle that I want to get for my son or my grandson. And this is the bike that I want to get. It costs $400, and you know, I just don't have $400 right now. So I have to come up with a plan of how I'm going to save for this savings goal. A savings goal is something that I want to save for, and this. So I'm hoping that you can help me figure out how I'm going to reach my savings goal. Now each of you has a sheet like this, and it shows the bike that I want and the price of that bike, $400. Now you know, when you have a savings goal, you can save for either goods or services. Goods are things that people buy and use. Services are things that people do for you. So an example of a good might be a baseball, an apple, or a can of pop, a number of things. A service is something that someone does for you and you don't have something to hold and touch in your hand when you're finished. A haircut would be a service. When you go to the barber or this hairstylist, you get a haircut, but you don't leave with anything. You don't leave with the scissors or the clip. When you go to a baseball game, that's a service, because when you go there, you go for the enjoyment of watching the game. You don't really leave with a bat or a baseball. You know, so goods and services are different things that we can save for. How about this bike? What would you think about the bike? It's a good, that's correct. A good, it's something that you can touch and feel. And it says here, I will reach my goal by, well, I'm a banker, so I'm going to reach my goal by working in a bank. And I plan to save $100 a month so I can get this bike. So I'm going to put $100 every month, circle the word month. So if I save $100 a month and the bike costs $400, how long will it take me to reach my savings goal? That's right, it's going to take me 4 months. So you would fill that in the blank. If I stick to my savings plan, it will take me 4 months to have enough money to save for my bike. So this is my goal, and you've helped me to figure out how I'm going to reach my goal. And you know, boys and girls, saving money and spending money are choices we make. If we choose to save, it means that we're going to put money aside now for the future so we can buy something in the future. So we're giving up the chance to spend it today so that we'll have it to spend later. If we choose to spend, it means we're spending now and we won't have that money to spend later. So they're kind of like opposite choices. Spending means we have the money now, saving means we have the money later, but it's a choice that we make. Well, today we're going to read a book about a girl. She had a savings goal, and her savings goal was to get a special doll, but she didn't have enough money to get that doll. So she comes up with a plan for how she can get the doll that she really wants. Now each of you is going to get a sheet like this, and this sheet is going to help you keep track of how Isabel got the money to get the doll that she wanted. And I'll stop along the way so you can fill out this sheet. So this book is called Isabel's Car Wash by Sheila Bair. Isabel De Niro wanted a long-hair doll more than anything in the world. Nellie was on sale at Murphy's Toys for $10, but Isabel only had 50 cents. What would she do? She wasn't old enough to babysit. She couldn't mow lawns. She wasn't strong enough to push the lawnmower. She thought about walking her neighbor's dog, but he was too big. What would she do? She thought and thought about how to earn money, and as she was walking home from school, she got splashed with mud, and then she thought, hey, the weather's been pretty miserable lately. All the cars are dirty. She had an idea. She would open a car wash. She had helped her brother with his car wash once. All she would need is some soap and some chamois. It's a special kind of a cloth to dry the cars off. So she went to the hardware store to buy the soap and chamois, and the person at this hardware store told her it would be $5. Well, she didn't have $5. Where would she get the $5? Then she remembered that once her friends had given her a quarter each when she lost her school lunch money. Her mom gave her 5 quarters to pay them back, plus a little bit more to thank them for what they had done. They got a little extra money. Maybe her 5 friends would give her some money to start her car wash, and she would pay them back plus a little more. Isabel's parents said okay to her plan, so the next day she asked her friends for $1 each. Her friends weren't so sure they wanted to give up their money. They had other things that they might want to buy, like candy or flashcards or ice cream. If you give me your dollars, Isabel said, I think I can pay you back plus more. Do you know how to wash cars? Asked Mary Kay. Yes, I've helped my brother many times. What if no one comes to your car wash? Asked Tyler. But they will. It's been raining all week. How will you divide the money you make? Asked Raj. I'll keep half and split the other half with you. Why should you get more? Asked Natalie. Because it's my idea and I'll do all the work, she said. But if not enough people come into your car wash, we could lose our money, said Lynn. Well, that is a risk, said Isabel. But a car wash is a good idea, and I'll work very hard. Her friends looked at each other and said, okay, we'll take the risk. So they gave her $5, $1 each. Isabel took the $5 to the hardware store and bought the special soap and chamois. The next day she put up a sign that said, Isabel's Car Wash, $1, and then she waited. Isabel's stomach was in a knot as she waited for her first customer. Finally, at 9:50, Mrs. Pristine from across the street drove up and said, $1 for a car wash? Such a bargain. Isabel did a great job washing her car until it sparkled. Mrs. Pristine called up all of her friends and told them about the car wash, and all of a sudden the news spread. So on your sheets, boys and girls, the first thing you're going to write is, Isabel wanted to save enough money to buy a doll that cost $10. How much did she get from her friends? $5. And so far she has washed 1 car. That's Mrs. Pristine's car. So you're going to put 1 tally mark there to say that she washed 1 car. Now let's see what happens next. Lots of people came to Isabel's car wash. Such a bargain, everyone said. The cars kept coming and coming. Isabel worked and worked. But she washed 5 station wagons, so you're going to put 5 more tally marks in that box. And she washed 2 minivans, 3 punch buggies, 3 convertibles with the tops up, 1 pickup truck, 1 golf cart, 2 pedal cars, a go-kart, and 1 dog. So did you put a tally mark for each one that I mentioned? When she was finished, it was almost dinner time. She counted up her money and found that she had, how much? 20 crisp $1 bills. She was pooped. The next day, Isabel invited her 5 friends over. Just as she promised, she paid them half the money she'd made and kept the other half for herself. Half of $20 came to $10, or $2 for each friend. So let's go over this. We know that she started with $5 from her friends. She washed 20 cars, so that's $20. 20 plus 5 is $25 is the total amount of money that she took in. How much did she pay out? Well, she paid $5 for the soap and chamois, and she gave $10 to her friends. 10 plus 5 is $15. So the total money in was $25. The total money out was $15. We subtract that, and that is Isabel's profit. She made a profit of $10. And how much did she need to buy the doll? Sounds like she's going to be able to get. Her friends were happy, and Isabel was happy too. She had $10 left to buy the doll. When she reached the checkout counter, the lady said, $10.50, please. But your sign says $10. Well, there's sales tax, said the lady. Isabel couldn't believe it. After all that work, she still needed 50 cents more to buy the doll. Then she remembered the 50 cents that she had started with. She searched around in the bottom of the purse and found it. Isabel paid the lady exactly $10.50 and happily carried Nellie home. So she did get her doll. So boys and girls, what we found is that Isabel was able to share the money that she earned. She shared her profits with her friends. Sometimes we call that a dividend. She paid her friends a dividend for helping her out and investing in her business. She's what we call an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who starts a business in hopes to make a profit. And Isabel did. She started a car wash business in hopes of making a profit, and she did, in order to get her doll. Now, boys and girls, we know that Isabel had a savings goal, and I had a savings goal to get a bike. Now you're going to have a savings goal. So I need 6 of you to come up to the front, and each of you is going to hold up one of these pictures in the front, and then the rest of you are going to have this sheet. And I want you to look up at all the posters in the front and pick the one that you think you'd like to have, and draw that picture in this box with the price up here. And then I want you to decide, is this item a good or a service? Is it something that you can touch and feel? Or is it something that you just enjoy and that someone does for you? Okay? Now, boys and girls, after you've drawn your picture, we'll have them come up with some ideas of how do you think a boy or a girl your age could earn the money to buy this particular item. And you could write them on the board. You could walk the dog, take out the garbage, empty the dishwasher, and all the number of things that you could do. There are jobs that a boy or girl your age could do. So you would pick one and say, I will reach my goal by washing dishes, or walking the dog, or babysitting for my cousin. So these are things that you could do. And then you have to decide, I plan to save how much money every week or every month. Don't forget, this is your goal. $10 or $20 or $30. How much do you think you're going to be able to save every week? And if you save that much every week, how long will it take you to reach your goal? How many weeks or how many months? And you can work on this, and maybe if you want to work with a partner, the two of you could figure out if you're doing it the right way. And again, you could walk through the class and kind of help the students as they complete their sheet. And then, of course, you'd want to draw some closure and say, okay, boys and girls, we know that Isabel had a car wash, and she had a savings goal of getting a doll. I had a savings goal of getting a bike. All of you have now come up with savings goals on your sheet. And then we have to have a plan for how we're going to reach that goal. And one of the things that we probably want to do as we save for our goal is to put our money in a safe place so it doesn't get lost. You could save your money in a piggy bank or in a jar, but when you get a lot of money, like $10 or $20, you'd probably want to go with mom or dad or some adult in your family and open a savings account at a bank. Because if you put your money in a bank, it's safe and it will always be there, and the bank pays interest. Just as Isabel paid a dividend to her friends, the bank pays you interest for keeping your money in a bank. And so you'll have more money than what you put in. And that's why I think saving in a bank is important, and why I like working in a bank, because it helps me help other people meet their savings goals. And at this point, if you have time, you can review some of the vocabulary words that you have on these sheets. Once again, thank you for participating in this program. We really appreciate your help.